Good morning, friends. So, let us continue with the chapter. A quick revision of what we have done before. Yes, so what we have done, we have started the chapter on similarity of triangles, right? It is triangles. Again, I tell you congruency and similarity. Congruency, same shape, same size, and when coincided, all the corresponding sides and angles are equal. Similarity, same shape, but in the size, in the same ratio. Okay? So, triangles are similar. And yesterday in the end, I gave you an example where to use similarity of triangles. Yes? I taught you how to find the height of the tree from its shadow and a known figure. So, that was for the practical reason. But now let us think a little more complex. So, before we go on to similarity, what was the conditions for similarity? If you remember, the two conditions, we always have to revise them. Condition 1, all the corresponding angles should be equal. Condition 2, the ratio of the corresponding sides should be equal. But then, after these two conditions, we saw certain theorems. Let us note down the theorems we had done. A. What is AAA? Similarity criterion. If the corresponding angles, all the three angles of two triangles are are equal, then the triangles are similar and the ratio of the sides will be equal. This was broken down to which criterion? AA. Why? With the help of the angle sum property of triangles. The sum of three angles is always 180. So if in two triangles, two angles are equal, automatically the third one will be equal. That was the first condition. Yes, what we said similarity first condition. If the angles are equal, the triangles are similar. So this condition 1 is independent by itself. Then SSS. Now remember, this SSS is different from the SSS of congruency. In congruency, the corresponding sides have to be equal. In similarity, the corresponding sides have to be in the same ratio. For example, triangle ABC and triangle PQR are similar. When we have AB upon PQ equal to BC upon QR equal to AC upon PR ratio. So in similarity, if the sides are in the same ratio, then they are similar. And the third one we had was SAS. Two sides of a triangle are in the same ratio and the included angle is equal. Then we have the triangles are similar. And if the triangles are too similar, then the angles are equal and the sides are in the same ratio. So this is a quick revision of similarity. Today now we are going to do some examples based on similarity. Yes? So let us begin the examples based on similarity. Okay, so read the question. The question, legs. Okay. Small error here. Okay, now the correction is done. Legs of a right triangle are 8 cm and 16 cm. What do legs mean? Legs mean sides other than the hypotenuse. So in a right angle triangle there are 3 sides. In a right angle triangle we have 3 sides. This is the hypotenuse. If this is the right angle, then the side opposite to the right angle is called the hypotenuse. So other than the hypotenuse, the other two sides are what? The smaller side is 8 cm and the bigger side is 16 cm. Okay, so this is the question given. Legs of a right angle other than the hypotenuse are 8 cm and 16 cm. Find the length of the largest square which can be inscribed in the triangle. So you want to make a square inside the triangle, a square inside the triangle. So what side will you take? You can make the square like this, or the square like this, or the square like this. So you can see this is the largest square that can be put inside. So you can make smaller squares also and bigger squares also. But what we have to do here is, we have to find the length of the largest square you can have inside this triangle, specific triangle. The measurements are given. So in the different examples, this measurements may change. But have you understood the question? You are given a triangle of this sort. One side is 8, one is 16. Find the side of the biggest square you can put inside. Now what is the specialty of a square? In a square, all the four sides are equal. So what will be the length of this largest square? So we will start the sum by naming it. Let me call this A, B, C. Let me call this point P, Q and R. So I want to find now PB, QB, PQ, QRN, BQR equal, and I have to find the side, the length of the largest square. So the side of the largest square. Now how can we make use of similarity here? So let's proceed and see. Since we do know which is the largest side, we assume let X be the largest side. So let X be the length, yes, of the largest square. Let X be the length. Now, if this is X, the square, then PB is also equal to X because sides of a square. We have taken PQ equal to X, but then that is also equal to PB. Yes, this is X and this is also X, side of a triangle. This everything, the whole part AB is 16. It was given the side is 16. So if PB is 6, how much is AP? So AP we have only AP is AB. From the AB we minus the PB. So AB minus PB. AB is 16, PB is X. So we get AP equal to 16 minus X. So what have we got? This side is X. This much here is 16 minus X. Okay, this whole side is 16. I'll write it here. But this much is 16 minus X. This is X. So we have got this here. Now, which triangles will you take? We have come to similarity. Now, which triangles will we take? So, we will take this smaller triangle APQ and the triangle ABC, the smaller triangle and the bigger triangle. So, let me write triangle APQ and triangle ABC. I have taken triangle APQ and triangle ABC. Now, since this is a square, the angle will be 90 and it is a straight line. If this is 90, this angle will also be 90. So we have angle APQ equal to 90 degree and triangle ABC, angle B is also 90 degree. It's a right angle triangle. So angle APQ equal to angle ABC. So which triangle I have taken on the top? APQ. In the APQ, which is the 90 degree, angle P is 90 degree. And the bigger triangle ABC, angle B is 90 degree. Also, angle QAP. QAP is the angle A of the smaller triangle. This is QAP. And angle CAB. CAB means of the bigger triangle, angle CAB. Now this angle is common to both. If you see this smaller triangle, then QAP and the bigger triangle CAB, it is common to both. So this is the common angle. So these both were equal because they were right angles. And this they were equal because they are common angle. I hope I am clear till here. Common angle. So because in these two angles are equal, the triangles have to be similar. So triangle APQ is similar to triangle ABC. By AA criterion, I should write here by AA similarity criterion. So if the triangles are similar, the sides have to be in the equal proportion. So we get AP upon AB equal to PQ upon BC. True? Because the triangles are similar. So AP, this front side AP upon AB equal to PQ upon BC. Now let us put the value. What is AP? AP was 16 minus x. AB fully is 16. PQ is x, the side of the triangle, and BC was given 8. So this is what we get. And now the solution part. 18 6 are 144 minus 8x equal to 16x, cross multiplying. Okay. So 144 equal to minus 8x on this side. So minus 8 plus 16 is 24x. So x is equal to 144 upon 24. 144 upon 24. You do get the cutting, you will get the answer. 8 3s are and 8 16s are. So the answer is 60 upon 3 centimeter. This is the longest side the square can have. So this was done by the traditional method. But here I will show you one more method how to solve this. Much more easier than the big calculations. We have got here 16 and here 8. What is the LCM of 8 and 16? Is 16. So I write 8 2s are 16. So that also multiply by 2. Now this is 16 and this is 16. So below I can cut off this 16. So what I am left with, 16 minus x equal to 2x. Take the minus x on this side. So 16 equal to 3x and x is equal to 16 upon 3 centimeter. Okay, this was a different way of doing the sum, but you can even choose the previous method, cross multiplying and doing it. That is longer, this is shorter. So mathematics can be done, like I told you before, in a lot of different ways. So this is a good example. Yes. So why do we use this similarity now? And why this calculation? Can you think of a practical example? If there is a triangular park and you want to make a square pond inside it, what is the maximum size of the square pond you can make? You can make use of similarity for the practical purpose. Yes? Or it is like you got a triangular plot of land, you say, and you want to make the house with a square base. So the maximum, the biggest square you can put is this. Or you can say there is a gaping in the wall of a triangular shape and you want to make a window, square window, which is the biggest window square window you can fit there. So these are just the type of examples I am trying to give, but this is one use of similarity. I hope you like this sum. Now let us try one more example. Okay, in this sum it is given a figure, angle D equal to angle E. Yes, it is given angle D equal to angle E and AD upon DB. AD upon DB equal to AE upon EC. It is given to you, the ratio. You have to prove triangle BAC is an isosceles triangle. Now, before I proceed with the sum, there is something you did in the 9th standard and I hope you do remember. Now, you have to understand this. If you have not done this, then you can revise the 9th standard and there is no shame in doing that. Whenever you come to triangles, you should know every word has a specific meaning. What does the isosceles triangle mean here? Isosceles triangle means that two sides of a triangle are equal. When all three sides are equal, it is called an equilateral triangle. When any two sides are equal, it is called an isosceles triangle. If no sides are equal, it is called a scaling triangle. What I am trying to tell you, we are into similarity right now, talking about ratios, but in the 9th standard you have done quite some theorems and I hope you do remember them all. If you revise them daily and if you practice them, then your maths will be very, very strong. So what is the theorem? Just a basic revision. In the 9th we have done two theorems which stated in an isosceles triangle, two sides are equal. Okay? And the theorem was angles opposite to equal sides are equal. In a triangle, angle opposite to equal sides are equal. So if you look, this angle is opposite to this side and this angle is opposite to this side. But if the two sides are equal, the angles have to be equal. Similarly, the converse of the theorem was, if two angles are equal, in a triangle, if two angles are equal, then the sides opposite to them, this side opposite and this side opposite to them are equal. So, this was done in the 9th standard just for the revision sake here. In a triangle, if two sides are equal, angles opposite to them are equal. Here, in a triangle, if the two angles are equal, then the sides opposite to them are also equal. This was the theorem which we are going to make use here. So I am revising this theorem. If you do not have this, you can visit the 9th standard book and see it. The proof is also given. Okay? And if I make a 9th standard video on this, I will surely send you the link and we will do this theorem one more time. Right now we are solving it, but when I do the chapter in the 9th standard, the triangles, I will send you the video link. Okay? Meanwhile, let us make use of this theorem. So first of all, we are given what is given to us? Angle D equal to angle E. Bear that in mind, but that is for later. We are also given AD upon DB equal to AE upon EC. So what does this tell us? If you can observe, AD upon DB equal to AE upon EC. Part on the part equal to part on the. So the ratio of two sides are equal. Okay? So we have got DE is parallel to BC. Can you recall how? Basic, the converse of basic proportionality theorem. I'll call it the BPT, basic proportionality theorem. If you remember, we had done a theorem when one line is parallel to the third side. If a line parallel to one side intersects the two sides in two distinct points, then the ratio of their sides is equal. And the converse, if the ratio of the two sides are equal, then the lines are parallel. So DE is parallel to BC. Now if D is parallel to BC, then we have the corresponding angle should be equal. So D is parallel to BC means angle D equal to angle B and angle E equal to angle C. But angle D equal to angle E, angle D equal to angle E. Therefore, angle B equal to angle C. We proved. So, in triangle ABC, now look at triangle ABC. Angle B equal to angle C. So the sides opposite them will be equal, which gives us, what does it give us? Which implies that AB equal to AC. Are you following? First we have given this ratio. Because the ratios are equal, the line DE and BC will be parallel. Converse of basic proportionality theorem. If they are parallel, corresponding angles will be equal. So angle D equal to angle B, angle equal to angle C. But angle D equal to angle E, so angle B equal to angle C. So you have got now angle B equal to angle C. So in triangle ABC, what is the theorem I told you? If in a triangle two angles are equal, sides opposite to them are equal. So AB is equal to, AB is opposite to angle C, AC is opposite to angle B. So AB equal to AC. So if in a triangle two sides are equal, then BAC is an isosceles triangle. So here we have made of use which theorem? The converse of basic proportionality theorem. If the ratio is same, the sides are, yes, these two lines are parallel. I hope this was an easy sum, but again for that you have to make use of which theorem? The theorem given in the 9th standard. So when you are doing geometry, always start from the base, and you remember in geometry every word has got a meaning. Means there is a mathematical vocabulary which you should know. What is the isosceles triangle? A triangle in which two sides are equal. What is equilateral? In which all the three sides are equal. So when you read maths, yes, when you read the sums and you come across words, you should also have your own mathematical vocabulary. You should know the specific meaning of each and every word. Right? Let us move on to the next example. This is quite a simple sum. Find the value of x for which D is parallel to AB. If you cannot write, this is 3x plus 90. Let me write AD equal to 3x plus 90. BE equal to 3x plus 4. Yes, CD equal to x plus 3 and EC equal to x. There are 4 sides given and the only question here is asked, find the value of x for which D is parallel to AB. So this is quite simple for you. So I'll solve it very quick, but I know you can do it before me. So you can go on your, let me try. So D is parallel to AB, so what we have the ratio CD upon AD. CD upon AD equal to C upon EB. What should I write here? Yes? You know the theorem, theorem 6.1. That if a line is parallel to one side, that's in the ratio. Now all you have to do is put the values down and do the sum. So x plus 3 upon 3x plus 19 equal to CE x upon EB 3x plus 4. Can you cross multiply? Yes, you do on your own, you can continue the sum and I will do it on the board in some time. I will do it my way, then you can compare your answer. 3x into x, 3x square, 3x into 3, 9x, 4 into x, 4x, 4 into 3, 12, equal to 3x into x, 3x square, plus 19x multiplied. 3x square that cuts on both sides. Now we have 9x plus 4x. 13x plus 12 equal to 19x. 13x on this side, 12 equal to 19x minus 13x. 12 equal to 6x. Therefore x equal to 12 upon 6 once the closure. X equal to 2. This was quite a very simple sum, yes, and I think you must have finished the sum before me. The diagram is given on the board. In the figure, AB is parallel to DC, so AB is parallel to CD, and AC intersects PQ at O. So what we have got in the figure, AB is parallel to CD and AC intersects PQ at O, and we have to prove OA into CQ equal to OC into AB. Now you must be wondering which is this form. Now in similarity, what do we know? That the ratio of the sides are equal. If the triangles are similar, then the ratio of the sides are equal. What is this multiplication? So we have done the sum before and I hope it must already struck you what is actually asked here. We are asked to say OA into CQ equal to OC into AB. Yes? So if we rearrange it, if I bring the OC down here and CQ down here, then it is OA upon OC equal to AP upon CQ. So what have we got? AO OA upon OC equal to AP upon CQ. So now you must understand that though this is the question asked to me, in the multiplication form, I will first arrange and bring it to the ratio form. Why I brought it in the ratio form? Which chapter are we doing? We are doing the chapter of similarity of triangles. So see this thinking process. The thinking process, here it is shown multiplication, I rearrange to bring a ratio. Now how can I show the ratios are equal? I can show ratios are equal if triangles are similar. Now comes the point, which triangles should I take here? So I have got which side? Now let me see. I have got side OA and OC and OP, not OP, sorry, I have not got OP, I have got AP and I have got QC. So it's natural I will take these two triangles, yes? I'll shade it for you. These are the two triangles we should show are similar. If we can show these two triangles are similar, then the ratio of the sides will be equal and we will get this. So this is quite an easy sum and I hope you have understood it. But what I am trying to show you here is the line of thinking. To show this, what we first need to do, put in the proper form. So we get a ratio. Now to show the ratios are equal, we need to show the triangles are similar. So which triangle should we take? So we should go backward thinking. Now we have reached here. So this is not to be shown in the exam. This is the backward thinking. How should we proceed with the sum? So now I know what I have to do. I have to say in triangle APO and triangle OQC. I have chosen which triangles I am taking. Now angle POA equal to angle QOC. Angle POA equal to angle QOC. Why? They are vertically opposite angles. I have written the short form. You are supposed to write the full form here. Vertically opposite angles. Also, angle PAO. Angle PAO equal to angle QCO. And why they are equal? Because we are given, or we can write alternate angles. If you see the first condition, we were given, what are given the first condition? AB is parallel to DC. AB is parallel to DC, AC is the transversal. So these two angles are equal because they are alternate angles. So by the AA criterion, I have just shown the two angles of two different triangles are equal. So I can just say by the A criterion, triangle APO is similar to triangle COQ. No, this is not the order. APO is CQO. CQO. So it is similar now. So what do we have? We have AP upon CQ equal to AO upon CO. C or OC, whatever you want to put. We write here AO, right? Now cross multiply. So when you multiply this here, so OC into AP equal to AO into CQ. We get this form. So remember, this was the question given to us, but what I did, a backward line of thinking. This is not to be done, but this is for you to think how to proceed with the sum. So I have written there how to proceed with the sum. So we know what triangles we have to prove similar. So then how to prove it similar? So we seen in the triangle that the angles, two angles can be shown equal. So we showed the two angles equal. So are you following what I am trying to tell you? To show this, we went with the ratio form. In the ratio form, we have to show two triangles are similar. What tools have we got? We have got AAA or just AA, one tool. We have got SSS and we have got SAS. But now here nothing is told about the sides. So I cannot take S at all. But something can be told about the angles. And we have got two powerful tools that the vertically opposite angles are always equal. Then we know alternate angles are equal. We know corresponding angles are equal. So making use of that by the AA axiom, I show the two triangles are similar. And if the triangles are similar, then the ratios will be equal. Yes? Is it clear to you? So I am going to end the examples right now. I am ending it here. I am going to give you a few sums based on these examples. Now further in the chapter, we have to do two more things to find the ratio of the areas of two triangles. If two triangles are similar, what we can say about their areas? Are their areas also in the same ratio? Are their perimeters in the same ratio? So that we'll do in the next lecture. And we have to also do Pythagoras theorem and the converse of Pythagoras theorem. You have been using the Pythagoras theorem from a very long time, but now we are going to prove the Pythagoras theorem using similarity. But that will be in the next lecture. for this lecture, what will you remember? The tools we are supposed to use? A, or just the short form AA. We have got SSS and we have got SAS. By these three tools, we will show that we can prove two triangles are similar. And if their triangles are similar, then what we did, we can find out the measure. We can find the value of x, we can find out the corresponding measure of a unknown side, we can prove something like this. So using these three right now, revise them again and again, we are making use of it to prove certain sums. So we are done for the day and I will be sending you sums very shortly. Okay, thank you.